everyone. So I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson here. Yeah, not prepared. Never prepared.
You
Okay?
know what?
Look at it. Look at it. Anyways,
I have a
welcome.
solution.
Yeah, but I'm doing the intro right now,
Oh, you're
Jackson.
doing the
You're
intro.
do.
We're just flip. All right, go ahead.
Welcome to episode 21 of the Go for Two podcast. Okay, my man Jackson is here and he is not ready once again. All right. Yeah, and instead he's sitting there drinking his little Coke. All right, instead of
Right?
I
I'll
don't
have you.
I don't care. I don't care. Okay.
It's good today too.
Comments, Jackson. Comments.
We do have
Wait.
comments.
I get. How are you today, Jackson? I guess I'm supposed to ask you like how you are or something.
But, one would think that you might care, but I don't know. It's okay. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. We're recording the pod earlier than usual this week. Still going to come out on Thursday at the same time for all of you guys, but we're recording a bit earlier, so it's on Monday before the Monday night games have started. I'm going to be going to Houston all week for work, so we weren't going to be able to do it this week, so we decided to do it before.
Yeah, we assumed that the Saints are going to win tonight, though. So
I think that's a fair assumption.
in the pick'em, yeah. So just.
I think that's fair.
And you know what?
I'm
If I'm feeling frisky, I might upload it a little early, Jackson.
Hey, that's fine. I'll leave that completely at your discretion, Mr. Luke.
All right.
I mean, you know what's good.
Anyways. Comments.
Yeah.
You actually got them now? You got them? I've stalled long enough for you, surely.
They're all ready to go. They've been ready to go, Lucas. Jesus Christ. Anyway,
they were ready.
For those of you guys who do not know, you can find this podcast where all podcasts can be heard on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Also on YouTube. And if you go to YouTube and you watch it, please be sure to leave a comment and leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. However, if you do leave a comment, then we will read said comment out on the show live for all of you and the rest of the fans to know and enjoy. So ask us a question, have a concern, raise your hand if you have an issue. Yes, Mr. Lucas.
If you are already subscribed to us, if you unsubscribe and resubscribe, it helps the channel, so appreciate. Just saying.
Helps us in the YouTube algorithm.
I know it seems like a nerd thing to do, but like, hey, go ahead. Go ahead and do it.
Like and dislike. That'd be cool. So Mr. Casey has hit the comment section for us once again. He seems to be a little bit alone. Okay, kind of getting a little crazy. All right, I think he needs some company down there in the comment section. Y'all might want to check on him. First one from Casey. He says, "Oh yeah, boys, Brady got the dub. Let's go Buccaneers. Did some great defense, and their defense has been looking pretty good so far. All right.
Their defense has looked really good. Yeah, they got some units on that team.
Yeah, they do. I mean, it's actually insane. Their rush defense is unreal.
And it looked like they played more Tom Brady football and not Bruce Arians air the ball down the field 24/7 football. And I think Tom looked a lot better.
Yeah, I think he played really, really well. I think they're kind of getting to a flow, getting into a little bit of a rhythm. So we'll see how it goes throughout the rest of the season. Next from Mr. Casey, he says, "Now Aaron Rodgers." And you better be careful here, Casey, with what you're about to say. I mean, I read the first 3 words that you said, and I can already tell it's about to be blasphemous. Okay. What can I say? He's a great Hall of Fame quarterback, but still in Favre's shadow no matter what the stats are, and will always be a Brett Favre backup until he gets another ring.
Aaron Rodgers won the MVP the last time he started a season off the way he did this year, so I'm just going to drop the mic on that one, buddy.
That's all we have to do. Always be a backup. Favre what? Casey! Yo, what is up in that Oklahoma air, bro? What are you breathing? It's affecting your judgment. Good Lord.
It's wild.
All right. Next from Mr. Casey. Jackson, the Cowboys are something else. Well, yes, they are. He said they got down to like 3 touchdowns behind the whole game by fumbling the football 3 or 4 times. Like, come on. Oh, wait, what the heck did they do? A fake punt like that? It's not a Madden game. That was a bad call. And they came back and got the W. Wow. Just a crazy game. Number one, yes, crazy game. If you want to hear more of my thoughts about the Dallas Cowboy game, suggest you go check out that Hometown Heroes episode. So that's back. We filmed this right before here. I break down all my likes and dislikes and talk about the game quite a bit. And so, yeah, what a crazy game. The first half, it looked like your Dragons team was playing just awful football. And then the second half, it actually looked like an NFL team. So, yeah, that actually was insane. We could not hold on the ball. It was wild. Last comment from Mr. Casey. All right, guys, don't be knocking on Brady because he's old. This guy is just insane. Like, he's not human. He's 43 and he should be terrible right now and injured. What this man does is crazy. His diet and his work ethic on the field, it's insane. Wow. But it's because through high school, college, and pro, this man's done. He's gone above and beyond for preparing the first snap of football, all the way to his last snap. His hard work overcomes his talent. Just look at him on YouTube and his story. It's why he's a GOAT. He's not about stats. He's all about wins and how he can get the next ring. That's the GOAT, bro.
He's the goat. I can't disagree.
He is the GOAT. There is no argument in that. There is no argument. And his work ethic and his his diet, and I think I know what you're talking about too, Casey. It was like the TB12 or something like that on Facebook, whatever. Great series, by the way. It's like a little mini docu series, like 10 minutes episodes or whatever. It's like, there's a couple of them. Definitely do give it a watch. But yeah, his work ethic, his diet, everything is crazy. His preparation, he definitely takes the game as seriously as you possibly can. So, no disputing it. He's a GOAT. He looked really good this past week. But Lucas,
Is that it?
that's all I got for the comments, brother.
Injuries, Jackson. All right?
Yeah,
They're everywhere.
okay, so
plaguing the NFL.
Plaguing the NFL. Let me pull up my phone because I had to write them all down here.
Which, by the way, while he's doing that, I'm going to interrupt him talking because, my voice is more important. Did you see the stuff about, like, especially the 49ers players were, like, coming at the Giants, like, saying that their field was terrible? No injuries.
Yeah,
Giants Steelers last week, no injuries.
Yeah, something's going on, man, and I don't know what it is, but this is like, and I have a question for you at the end when I discuss all these injuries, Lucas. Is like, do you think the lack of preseason has anything to do with the amount of injuries that we're seeing?
Yeah, I think we're definitely seeing what happens when the players, like, lack of preseason. I think preseason and stuff like that was probably more important this year because players didn't have, they had to be away from the facility as much as they did. And so, I mean, if you have all of that other prep work, then maybe it's okay to maybe have one preseason game or two. I think honestly, I would like two. One game where you let some starters play, and then the next week you're trying to fill out the rest of your roster. But I think we're seeing what happens when you just don't prepare. Like when these players are not prepared the way they need to be.
I 100% completely agree. I think you can have a mixture of preseason games and no OTAs and off-field workouts, or a bunch of off-field workouts and like one preseason game or two. But to have 0 and 0 and then go all the way up to 100 miles an hour, like straight away, we're hitting each other. We talked about
0 to 100.
I think this is kind of 0 to 100. I think we're seeing some of the results. So, and I'm going to go through the injuries. This segment is called Holy Injuries Batman, and you're going to see why. So here's kind of our notable list. First one, Tyrod Taylor, who's so yesterday, if you guys saw, right before the game against the Chiefs, the Chargers decided to go with I'm sorry, what is his name, Lucas?
Justin Herbert.
Blanking for some reason. Justin, thank you. Good gosh, I don't know why I want to call him Matt Flynn for some reason. That was an old quarterback. So Justin Herbert, they decided to go for Justin Herbert. Started him. Tyrod Taylor had a chest injury during pregame warmups. I know, Lucas. I'm making that face to myself too. I can't believe I forgot his name. So Tyrod Taylor out with a chest injury. Now the Chargers did say that if Tyrod Taylor is healthy, that they're going to go with him as a starter. So I'm not exactly sure if that's the right move because Justin Herbert looked really good yesterday. Anyway, so we'll see. Going up to New York, the Jets, they have a couple people out. Connor McGovern, their center, out with a hamstring injury. Brashad Perriman, he's their wide receiver. He's out with an ankle injury.
He's good.
Big time name here, Christian McCaffrey from the Carolina Panthers, running back, MVP front runner for a good portion of last year. He's out with an ankle injury, suspected 4 to 6 weeks, possibly longer. We'll keep an eye on that, but that's definitely 99 Madden Club talent out for a while. So that definitely hurts Carolina. Paris Campbell, wide receiver for the Colts, knee injury, likely a torn PCL, probably out for the entire year. They should have an MRI this afternoon. Malik Hooker, safety for the Colts. He has an Achilles injury. He's probably out for the year. Cortland Sutton, wide receiver for the Broncos. He tore his ACL. He's out for the year. Me and Lucas just got confirmation on that about 30 minutes ago. that hit the wire. Drew Lock, quarterback for the Broncos. They were set to have a pretty good year. People were really excited about them. He's got a shoulder injury. He's out for 2 to 6 weeks. And Lucas also said a calf strain. So
Yep.
he's just banged up all over the place. Drew Brock's out. Sterling Shepard, wide receiver for the New York Giants. He's battling some turf toe, likely to miss a couple of weeks for wide receivers. I can imagine that toe is really important for the breakoffs. Next, another big-time running back out for the year. Saquon Barkley tore his ACL. He is out for the entire year. You have to feel for him, especially from battling an injury last year and coming back. Now he tore his ACL. Unfortunately, questions are going to start to arise about his durability and his long-term ability to play, especially as he starts approaching the later time of his career. Now we're getting into the 49ers. The 49ers are the most banged-up team I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know if this is, lose a Super Bowl curse or what's going on here. Nick Bosa hit his knee, possibly a torn ACL, could be out for the entire year, pending an MRI. That's happening this afternoon. Jimmy G, high ankle sprain, out for about 4 weeks or so, 4 to 6. Have to keep an eye on that. Raheem Mostert. So Raheem Mostert he's a guy had a couple big time runs the past couple weeks. Had an 80-yard run this week, Lucas. I think a 75 one last week. He's out with a knee injury, so they're going to need to look somewhere else for a running back. Solomon Thomas, another 49er, out with a knee injury. Let's not forget about the injuries that they had going into this game. So going into this game, remember they traded away DeForest Buckner for a pick. D Ford out with a neck injury. He's on IR for a couple of weeks. Doesn't mean he's out for the season, but he's just out for a couple weeks. Richard Sherman, also he's dealing with a calf injury. He's listed on IR for the next 4 weeks. Remember, they were also without George Kittle, who's battling a knee injury, and their wide receiver breakout star, Deebo Samuel, battling a foot injury. So the 49ers are completely decimated all across their roster.
So they didn't do something right. That just sounds like the coaches didn't get them ready or something. Someone didn't do their job.
Yeah, and there's some big-time names. I mean, Nick Bosa, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley. This is week 2. And obviously something is wrong or something has happened. This is a result from, like we said, probably preseason, coaching, whatever it is. It's a serious issue, and there's a lot of teams that are hurt, not to mention several Cowboys players. I mentioned hometown heroes. They got Lyle Collins, Tyron Smith, he's out. Of course, our new center, banged up all over the place. So, yeah, man, it's definitely a problem, and I don't really. There's not a Ricky you really do to fix it. Just kind of.
Seattle's winning the division. Woo!
Yeah, Seattle's definitely win that division. I don't see how San Francisco's going to really be able to recover from this. I don't. I think it's going to be too late in the season by the time everybody comes back. But that's all of our injuries.
I love it.
Ooh, one second, Lucas. 1 second. I hate to interrupt you. 1 second.
Look at this guy. Look at this beautiful specimen sitting here talking to people. All right. Anyways, he can interrupt me and tell me 1 second all he wants. Whatever. We don't need him for this. Okay. So we got through the injuries. We got through the sad stuff. We're gonna do a cool segment next. We're gonna actually look at all the 0-2 teams in the NFL, and we're gonna pick a AFC team that we think can still make the playoffs, and an NFC team that we think is still most likely to make the playoffs. Mr. Jackson here came up with all the stuff this week. All right, so props to this guy for doing it. He's done it twice out of all the episodes we've done. I usually do all the work. All right, I was a little busy this morning, so he actually did some stuff for a change. But anywho, I'm gonna get into my picks because what he thinks doesn't matter. Start with the A. What, Jackson? You put your headset on. You ready to talk now? Oh no, he's still ain't ready to talk. Okay. Anyways, starting with the AFC, the team I went with that's 0-2, most likely to make playoffs, is the Texans. So the Texans have made the playoffs. They've won the AFC South the past 4 years or something ridiculous. It's very upsetting as a Titans fan. I'm not gonna lie to you. Out of all the teams that was left, though, they're definitely the best team that's 0-2. They had a really tough start to the schedule. They played the Ravens this week and the Chiefs last week. So definitely can't kind of hard to hate on them for starting off 0-2. Expected them to go 0-2. I think me and Jackson picked them to go like 0-5. Uh, the beginning of their schedule is tough, but it definitely gets easier. They hit a soft spot where they can catch some wind, and they do stand a good chance of still making the playoffs, especially if Jacksonville and the Colts can fall off. They can get some wins there. If they split the series with the Titans, that would help them a lot too. Nerds not going to do that. But yeah, so Texans definitely the best team in the AFC. Is 0-2 that has a chance to make it. In the NFC, my woes continue with the Vikings. Okay, for those of you that actually tuned in and watched us throughout the preseason, offseason, all that good stuff, me and Jackson were really high on the Vikings. We did our picks where we did weekly picks, and we were like, the Vikings are going to be a good team. They're going to win this division. So far, Aaron Rodgers running away with it because he's in MVP form again. And so the Vikings are now 0-2. Kirk Cousins threw like 3 interceptions yesterday. They look terrible. Adam Thielen had 3 catches the first quarter, and then my man fell off the map. I don't know what's happening to him. But out of the 0-2 teams in the NFC, I went with the Vikings because I'm keeping some faith. They scare me. The Titans are playing them this week, and they absolutely terrify me.
Oh, they should.
But then it's like, at the same time, I'm like, why are you playing so bad? And I really think our coaches are going to take advantage of that, and we're going to try to find something to do. But yeah, for NFC team that's 0-2, best chance to make the playoffs, got to go with the Vikings. What you got, Jackson, since you back now? You can tell us all the teams.
I can't disagree with your pick. Sorry about that, guys. So Curtis is staying with me for a couple of days, and he just came home with lunch, so I'll have that right after the pod. Anyway, so yeah, my teams to kind of make the playoffs here. I agree with you in the AFC. I think it's the Texans. I mean, we looked at the list, right? And it's you got the Dolphins and you got some of the other teams. Actually, I'm right here. Did you read those off, Lucas? I'm so sorry.
No, I didn't read them all.
All right, so the teams that are 0-2 in the AFC, you got the Jets, the Dolphins, the Broncos, the Bengals, and the Texans. So when I look at that list, the best team on paper, clearly from that list, is the Texans. I think that they're in a division where the Colts are looking really weak. Jaguars looking a lot better than we thought they were going to be, but I still think they're going to end up tanking, and they should beat the Jaguars.
Tank for Trevor.
So, tank for Trevor, that's what it is. So, Texans, I definitely have the most faith in. They have the pieces, and as long as you have Deshaun Watson, you have a chance to make the playoffs. So, definitely them. They have the best chance in the NFC. Moving on to the NFC, those different teams include Giants, Eagles, Vikings, Lions, Falcons, and the Panthers. So, this was a little bit more of a hard decision for me, and I almost went with the Vikings. I almost did. But I went with Philly, and this is why. And I know this is weird to come from a Cowboys fan, right? Because obviously I would not want the Eagles to make the playoffs because they frighten me. Because weird things happen when you play division opponents in the playoffs, okay? It gets wild, all right? They just know you more. They have more film on you. It's just they're more familiar. It gets scary. So I prefer they don't, but this is why I'm picking that they do. Earlier on the show that you, per your words, Lucas, the NFC East is the worst division of football. And that is 100% true. And that is why I'm picking the Eagles over the Vikings here, because I think that the Eagles have an easier road. I feel like they can beat Washington the second time around. I feel like they have a much better chance of beating the Giants than the Vikings do of taking both games against the Bears, if that makes sense. I feel like the Vikings are still an incredible team. I feel like they're kind of right there neck and neck. But because the Eagles have a little bit of an easier chance in their division, I think that they can win more games and get there. I've been very surprised by the Vikings, though. We fully expected them to be a 11-5, 12-4 team, winning that division. But like you said, Aaron Rodgers is in MVP form. He's playing extremely well. Last time he started the year 2-0, he won MVP both times, scored 40 points in both games. That's the last time he won MVP. I don't see any stopping them at the moment. I'm really looking forward to our Sunday night game this coming up week. But yeah, I got the Texans in the AFC and the Eagles in the NFC.
I really do not. The Eagles look bad, man. I have zero faith in the Eagles right now. I think they're going to get third in the division right now, just based off what I've seen through 2 weeks.
Yeah, and normally I'd probably agree with you, but I think the Saquon injury is going to be really significant for the Giants. I don't think Deion Lewis is going to be able to do this, have the same amount of production. And I think that, um, I don't know. I just think it's a weaker division, so it's more of an opportunity, percentage chance, I guess, for them to be
Right.
successful. But you're absolutely right. I hope the Vikings make the playoffs. I'd love to see them in the playoffs. You kidding me?
It's the best time right now, Jackson. I love it. It's Pick'em time. Okay.
Let's get into it.
So Pickems is my favorite. All right, and I'm playing a little comeback with Jackson right now. Real quick update on the scores from last week. Not the scores. I'll just tell you who won. Let's see. The Browns beat the Bengals. Titans beat the Jags. Falcons beat the. Ooh, the Falcons didn't beat the Cowboys, did they, Jackson?
They did
real
not.
sad. Dan Quinn's getting fired. The Cowboys beat the Falcons. The Buccaneers beat the Panthers. The Steelers beat the Broncos. Rams beat the Eagles. The 49ers beat the Jets. The Bills won against the Dolphins. The Vikings got destroyed by the Colts. It was really, really sad to see. Packers beat the Lions. Bears beat the Giants. The Cardinals destroyed Washington. The Chiefs just snuck away against the Chargers. Man,
That was a crazy game.
for those of you that got to watch the game, I really think in overtime, that 4th and 1, because Chargers got the ball first. At 4th and 1, I think you got to go for it. You can't punt that ball and give it back to Patrick Mahomes. And of course, they went down and their kicker kicked 3 game-winning field goals in a row. So.
Which is wild. I've never heard of that before in my life. I've heard of 2, never heard of 3.
Yeah, it was great. Ravens just schmeeded on the Texans, and the Seahawks the Patriots put up a really good fight against the Seahawks. That goal line stand at the end of the game was awesome. And then the Saints are probably going to beat the Raiders tonight. We are assuming that they are in our pick'ems. And if that changes, I can go back and adjust it. But we had really good weeks, Jackson. You went 15-1, and I went 14-2.
We had great weeks in week number 2. We solid on the picks. We're doing really good. Really good. I can see why you're starting to put money on it. I can see it.
So, anyways, Jackson is now 25-7, and I'm 20-12. So, got to make the comeback.
I feel like you're gonna have some different.
We're gonna pick some sneaky ones today.
Yeah, I think you're picking some sneaky ones today.
All right.
I just have a feeling.
Thursday Night Football, Mr. Jackson. Dolphins at Jacksonville.
I think I'm going to surprise you with this pick. I'm going to go with Jacksonville. I'm going with 2 reasons here. I feel like they played you guys extremely close, which was frightening. I feel like they played a Colts team who, for some reason, did very well yesterday. Really, really close. And I don't know, man. It just seems like they're a little bit more of a threat than what I gave them credit for, which was absolutely nothing. And I'm going, of course, from the math. Home team on Thursday Night Football, it's like a 70% chance that they win. You just have such an advantage. You don't have to travel, and you get to more practice time and more preparing time. So I'm going with the Jags at home. They're looking better than what I thought, and I don't think the Dolphins have what it takes.
So I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
Going with the Dolphins. Okay.
And here's why. Jacksonville's, it looks like we were able to really move the ball in the air through them with, I don't know what I'm saying. We were really able to move the ball through the air against them, okay? And the Dolphins have a good passing attack. I like what they have. They have a decent running game, enough to make the Jacksonville Jaguars respect it. And I also think that the Dolphins have some stud corners. And I think they can take advantage of that against Jacksonville. Gardner Minshew threw 2 interceptions against us. So, all I'm saying, honestly, it'll be a good game.
It should be a good game. It's a Thursday night game where you're like, oh, this will be. It's not like a game that you typically get excited for, but at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah. 49ers at the Giants.
Normally, I would pick the 49ers 9 out of 10 times. This is that one scenario where I'm picking the Giants. I feel like the backup quarterback for the 49ers is not going to be successful. I feel like you're losing Nick Bosa. You don't have Richard Sherman. You don't have Deebo Samuel. You don't have George Kittle. I think the injury-plagued 49ers are going to suffer against the hand of the Giants this week. Giants at home. Surprise pick.
So this is real tough. Because the 49ers have a run game. I don't care who you put back there.
You looked really shocked to me. Did you make your picks before this, or are you making your picks as we go?
I'll make my picks as we go.
Okay.
But I gotta go 49ers. I think their team is just better. Giants don't have Saquon. Um, man, I know that they might not have a quarterback, but it's
I'm telling you, man. I don't know. It just feels like without Jimmy G, without George Kittle, without Nick Boat, their defensive line is decimated. It's not what it was. I mean, it's not what it used to be. That's just because they have a bunch of people out. Um, Purely because of injuries is why I'm making this pick, and it was a
yeah,
really hard pick to make because Saquon's out. If Saquon's in, I feel way more comfortable with this pick. I feel like this is like a 52% chance the Giants win and a 48%
yeah. I think it's
chance.
definitely a
You know what I
toss
mean? It's
up.
right there.
Yeah.
It's like it's
Texans
that's the
at
only
the
reason why.
Steelers.
Texans at the Steelers. Look, man, this is damn Texans. You have a rough schedule, to start. You're playing in three AFC. We're talking about the AFC like powerhouse teams or AFC teams like I think it's clear stuff for the playoffs. You got the Chiefs, you got the Ravens. I think the Steelers have been playing out of their mind. I got the Steelers at home. I just don't. I think you're really missing DeAndre Hopkins. I feel like Minka Fitzpatrick takes advantage of that. I like the coaching more with Pittsburgh. I like the fact that they're at home. Big Ben's looking more comfortable. Steelers.
Yeah. I'm also going with the Steelers. I really, really feel the lack of the DeAndre Hopkins effect. It's
100%.
yeah. Bengals at the Eagles.
I'm going to go with the Eagles at home here. I feel like they could bounce back. I'm not going to lie to you. They've been playing really, really bad, and I've been loving it. I I really have. I hope Joe Burrow just takes it to him. But if I'm a betting man and I'm starting to learn from you that you are, I'm going with the Eagles.
So I'm going with the Bengals.
Going with the Bengals. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going with the Bengals. Joe Burrow has
Yep.
looked really good, and he wants that win. Okay,
He does.
he wants that
I
first
hope he
win.
gets it.
And the
I'll gladly
Eagles,
take the L on
man, Carson Wentz gonna throw a couple interceptions, fumble the ball. Joe Burrow's gonna drive down the field and win. That's
that.
all
I
I'm
hope
saying.
so.
I
I
mean,
really do.
they had it. He kept them in the game against the Browns, and it was a really good game. And he looked really good. Raiders at the Patriots.
I'm going to go with the Patriots at home. Patriots, man, they surprised me last night. Their home their opener before seems like okay, yeah, we kind of give it to them. They're playing pretty well, but when you play that well against the Seattle Seahawks with Russell Wilson in MVP form, you have my attention. So I have them at home against the Raiders. I just don't think the Raiders have what it takes to keep up with them. Cam's
Yeah.
looking really well. I've been very impressed.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Patriots too. Coaching, man. Bill's taking advantage of every bit of Cam Newton.
Yes,
He really is. Washington at the Browns. Ugh.
I'm going to go with the Browns at home here. I think they played a lot better in their game against the Bengals. I think the Washington team is more banged up than the Bengals. I like the Bengals quarterback play more. So if I go just by simple logic there, I would assume that the Browns would win at home. Seemed like they started to kind of play like we would expect them to. Odell Beckham had a really good game last week. I hope that he keeps going.
Yeah. I'm also gonna go with the Browns. When Washington's just, I mean, you got your win against the Eagles, but this is different.
This is a different beast right here.
Rams at the Bills.
Rams at the Bills. This is going to be a great game. This is going to be a fantastic game. I've been really loving what the Bills have been doing, but I'm going to kind of go on a little bit of an edge. We're going with the Rams on the road here. I like their defense. I like what they've been mixing it up on with their offense and the Sean McVay. Now this is going to be a true test here because I mean they beat us week 1. I mean you should have. They beat us, and they beat a really bad Eagles team week 2. This is their true test. Are the Rams a real deal? And all of a sudden they're 3-0. We're looking at them as a powerhouse NFC team, or are they kind of what we thought they were coming into the season, not going to be that good? Taking a risk, going with the Rams.
Yeah, I'm also going with the Rams. I think it's honestly, I feel like the Bills, watching their quarterback play, man, it seems like sometimes he tries to throw the game away and the other teams don't capitalize, and I think the Rams definitely will capitalize.
Yeah.
Next game, Bears at the Falcons.
Now this is going to be a good game. The Falcons. Here's the thing: the Falcons 100% should have won that game against Dallas this last week. We gave it to them on a silver platter. We were down 20-0. Um, Falcons, as you mentioned earlier, Lucas, first team in history to lose multiple 20-point games like that um, while being ahead. I think they get their revenge. I think that they played a very tough Seattle team in the very beginning of the game, and they're this past week it got stolen from them. They scored 30. They did everything right. They scored 39 points. They committed 0 turnovers. Calvin Ridley's playing out of his mind. I expect them to win at home against a Chicago team that I think has kind of scraped by the past couple weeks.
This is real tough.
It's a tough game. There's a lot of tough games this week.
I think I'm gonna have to agree with you though. Both of us Falcons. It's just the Bears kind of like do enough, like just enough to win, and I don't think the Falcons will give them a chance to. Kind of like how like the Giants were there, and it's like the Bears do just enough to keep the Giants from scoring on the final play of the game. Like,
yeah,
come on,
Saquon less Giants team in the second half.
Come on,
for the majority of the game.
Yeah. So I gotta go with the Falcons, even though I'm not really a fan of them.
Yeah,
Panthers at the Chargers.
I'm going with the Chargers, man. Chargers looked really impressive against Kansas City. I like what they were doing on defense, and I really think that they should go with Justin Herbert instead of Tyrod Taylor, no matter how his chest is feeling. The team just looked better and more synchronous with him out there at the field. I think you go ahead and take a chance to put him out there early. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chargers at home here.
Yeah, I like the Chargers also, and I agree with your take on the quarterback. Jets at the Colts.
I mean, I don't even know why this is a game, to be honest with you. The Jets really shouldn't be an NFL team. I definitely got to go with the Colts at home. They impressed me and impressed you against the Vikings last week. We'll see. I mean, they should win this game. This should be 9 times out of 10 Colts win this. I don't see how the Jets win, especially with their injuries.
Hey, I'm gonna go with the Colts too, but I would love for my man Phillip Rivers chuck another win. That'd be beautiful. If you could do that for me.
All the way down the field, you never know. We'll see.
Cowboys at Seahawks.
Really tough game to call here, man. I got the Seahawks at home. I mean,
you picked against your boys.
Of course, I picked against my boys. Like
this is Russell Wilson. You disgust me.
Listen, we've had this discussion multiple times across both seasons of the podcast. Okay, you yourself have picked against the Titans on more than one occasion, and I give you the same stank eye as you're giving me right now.
You disgust me.
I'm going with Seattle at home. Russell Wilson's in MVP form. They are battle tested. Same thing with the Cowboys. I love what they did last week. We squeaked by with the win. I just don't think we're going to be able to pull one over against Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll.
You disgust me. I can't believe you. Yeah, I got the Seahawks too.
Of course you do.
I mean, I feel like it's like the most obvious pick right there in that situation. Titans at the Vikings.
Good game. This is going to be a good game. Like you said, you're pretty scared, but I have faith in Titans. Battle tested again. I love what they've been doing, running the ball. Ryan Tannehill is playing out of his mind. Showing that last year was definitely not a fluke. Vikings look to be a shell themselves, and this will be interesting, Lucas, because as you know, the percentage chance for you to win at 0 and to make the playoffs starting 0-2 is right around 40-ish%, 30, late 30s%, high 30s. To make the playoffs starting 0-3, I mean, you go down to 15%, 12% likelihood to make the playoffs. So, this is a must win, I think, for the Vikings, especially if they want to have a chance in that division. I don't know, maybe the percentage chance increases a little bit since it definitely does, since you have 7 teams from each conference making it now. Mm-hmm. Maybe they can go for a wild card, but I don't know. I don't think the Titans are going to give them that chance. I think you're going to out-coach the Vikings on the road.
So I agree with you, Jackson. I think I'm going with the Titans. I do think we're going to end up out-coaching them. The thing about the Titans is we're kind of finding a way to win right now, but we definitely get better. As we make mistakes, we definitely learn from them. And I think that's all in coaching, and I think our players love Mike Vrabel. They absolutely love him to death. Go to war for the guy. So I gotta go with
Players
the
coach
Titans.
for sure. He's a
Uh,
players coach. I like his. One last thing on the Titans, Lucas. I'm curious to see if AJ Brown's going to be able to play. But one thing I have been very impressed with is Corey Davis's play this year.
mm-hmm.
Like so far for the first 2 games, he's playing like you would expect Corey Davis to play. Like I think he has really taken it upon himself. This is a contract year. He knows he needs to step up. AJ Brown's gone. Give me the ball. I'm the number one. Let's
Yep.
go. And so
Yep.
I love that attitude. If there's no AJ Brown, this gets to be a lot closer of a game, but I think you'll find a way to win.
Buccaneers at the Broncos.
Easiest pick of the week for me by far.
Yeah.
Buccaneers on the road. Doesn't really matter. Broncos are completely decimated. No Drew Lock, no Cortland Sutton, no Von Miller. I shouldn't have to say anything else.
Excuse me. I also won the Buccaneers. Easy pick. Lions at the Cardinals.
Lions at the Cardinals. This is another easy pick for me. Cardinals are playing great. You add D Hop. Kyler Murray's looking like a perennial quarterback. 2-0 up at the top of their division at the moment. That division's crazy. You want to talk about the most competitive division of football? NFC West by far. Cardinals at 2-0, Seahawks at 2-0, Rams at 2-0, 49ers at 1-1. Like it's insane. But I think the Cardinals just have more to offer. I'm going with the Cardinals at home. You got D-Hop.
You got D-Hop. The Lions, man, jumped out to a quick lead on the Packers, and I got a little scared.
They got a little spooky. Hey, they're better than what we're giving them credit for.
They definitely are. Well, I mean, I picked them to win. Was it week 1?
They're better than what I've given them credit for. Put it that way.
I really like them, but the Cardinals, the way they're playing right now, Kyler Murray's kind of doing some Russell Wilson stuff in the sense of like my man's just running around and still making plays. He's obviously not as good as Russell Wilson yet, but he kind of looks like him. You know what I mean?
That style, yeah.
Yeah. Packers at the Saints.
So these last 2 games here, Lucas, were the hardest games for me to pick by far. We got Rodgers versus Breeze on Sunday Night Football, and I'm so excited to watch this game. Hopefully I get to be home in time to watch with you. I'm going to go with the Packers on the road, and here's why. The last time that Aaron Rodgers and company scored 40 points in the first 2 games, Aaron Rodgers won MVP. They've done that this year. Aaron Rodgers' arm is healthy. He says it hasn't hurt for the first time in forever, and I can tell. They also didn't have to use his arm to win the game against the Lions. Aaron Jones stepped up, and he had a big-time game.
Mm-hmm. 170 yards, 3 touches.
Yeah, they're not completely reliant on Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball 45 times for them to win a football game anymore. They're two-dimensional. Their defense is playing better. It's not fantastic, but it's decent. And it's going to be rough. The Saints are at home here, but just with the way the Packers are playing and the fact that Michael Thomas is out is the key difference for me in this game. If Michael Thomas was playing, I'd probably go with the Saints at home. But I don't know if Emmanuel Sanders by himself and the rest of the crew is going to be able to make up for that.
Right.
I'm going with the Packers on the road. It's going to be a tough game, and I cannot wait to watch it.
Yeah, I went with the Packers too. I think the Packers defense is going to do a really good job against the Saints. I think Drew is going to get some pressure on him.
I think so too.
Chiefs at the Ravens.
Tough game, man. Tough game. So the Chiefs, they pull out the win in week 1. They pretty much dominate. The Texans are playing like themselves. Last week, they pulled it out of their hat. Yesterday, as you and me saw, against the Chargers. 2 ways we can approach this question. Does that just mean that the Chiefs had an off game, or does that mean the Chargers are the real deal? Not sure yet. This is going to be incredible. Great Monday Night Football game. Ravens are at home and on the road. I'm picking them. I think they look more complete, almost look a little, their defense looks better to me than what the Chiefs defense looks at this point. And that's going to be the difference in this football game for me. Lamar Jackson, of course, has been playing out of his mind. Again, this is probably the closest game of the night, of the week pick so far. But I'm going to go with the Ravens because they're at home and because I trust their defense more.
Yeah, I went with the Ravens too. It's the defense for me, and Chiefs looked bad last week, and so there's a chance that honestly they come out and they're like, "Yeah, that's not us, and we're going to show
Right.
you."
We just had an off week. Sure.
But I don't know. That pass rush is real with the Ravens. That secondary is real with the Ravens. It's definitely gonna be a great game.
I'll tell you what, the Browns and the Steelers keep going the way they're going, and the Ravens keep going the way they're going. That AFC North matchup is going to be something incredible. So, ooh, good week of picks, Lucas. Good week of picks.
Anyways, last segment for the week. Okay, it's take it or leave it. Everyone's or Jackson's favorite segment, but it's a little twist this week. Jackson is doing take it or leave it this week, so take it away, sir.
Yes. So, Miss Lucas, you know about take it or leave it. I don't have to tell you about that more than once. I got a couple different questions for you this week, Mr. Lucas. Number one, take it or leave it, Mr. Lucas. The Cowboys' comeback against Atlanta this past weekend was more impressive than the Patriots keeping up with Seattle.
So that's tough.
Both are incredible to me.
So. I'm going to leave it.
Okay.
And the reason I'm leaving it is because the Falcons just feel like they're a dead team. Like they go out there and play, but like that's it. You know, like I don't see fire.
See some soul.
Yeah, it really looks like they're just like. And I think it's time for a new coach. And I expected the Falcons to lose, right? I expected the Cowboys to win, and you just had to pull something out of your butt and to win. But you won because the Falcons had like terrible coaching to the point to where you literally gave up a 20-point lead, and then your players didn't know to jump on a ball.
Yeah, we gave that game to them on a silver platter.
And then like y'all had the fake punt that wasn't good, and just like all this stuff, and like somehow the Falcons still lost, and it's just like the Cowboys. It's like I don't look at it as the Cowboys went out and won the game. I look at it as like the Falcons were just like you handed the game to the Falcons. They're like, don't really like how this win tastes. I think I'll hand it back, and then like they just gave it back to you, and it's just like weird. The Patriots win is more impressive to me because number one, we didn't expect that from them, right?
Sure.
Especially for them to put up that many points. Against Seattle, Cam Newton, we didn't really expect coming into the season. We didn't really expect for Bill to change everything to fit Cam Newton. I thought he might try to change Cam Newton, but instead it seems like he's more like embracing what he has, and rolling with it. And I mean, kudos.
Adapting his offense to what he has, yeah.
Yeah, kudos to them, him and his offense coordinator, McDaniels. Bravo, sirs. If y'all keep playing like this, not a lot of teams are gonna be able to beat you, and you're gonna win your division. And that blows my mind. That without Tom Brady and with the people on that team, with all the people that had opted out on defense, that there's still a really good chance they're going to win that division.
Yeah, for sure. It comes down to them and the Bills. I think that just give credit to Bills coaching. I mean, if that doesn't show you, or what this season has shown you so far is that or that you didn't know that Bill was already the greatest coach ever, then I think this season has cemented that for everybody, regardless of how the rest of the season ends up, because I think it shows a sign of a good coach to be able to adapt to your players and what you have and play with the pieces that you're given on your chessboard.
Right.
And not, going to the game of chess metaphor, not trying to win a game, like with a set strategy, even though you don't have a queen. You don't have your Tom Brady anymore. So you're going to, instead of trying to win with that same strategy, you're going to say, okay, well, I got a bishop that's pretty good. I got a Cam Newton that's if I adjust my strategy to play off of that, then might have a chance to do something. So I think just number one, a testament to his coaching and his abilities and being able to adapt with all the players they have out. They're playing incredible football. and I can't wait to see them match up against the Bills. That's going to be great. I'm going to take it though because it's never happened before, and I thought that was really impressive. I think that it was definitely a mixture of the Falcons like just completely losing the game because they had multiple opportunities to take the game from us and win because we gave it to them on a silver platter. But I also can't deny the tenacity and the ferocity that Dak had in the second half, especially, and leading his team on those drives to win. And however improbable that it was, and however how much the Falcons just completely gave up, we stopped their running game. We led multiple drives down to go score. We made it happen. And because a scenario had never happened before, 440-0, and it did happen, that's why it's more impressive to me just on numbers. But I'm also kind of biased.
Homer.
In case you hadn't noticed.
He's a homer.
It's Homer. So I'll take it just for that. Anyway, that was a good take or leave it, Mr. Lucas. We dove deep into that. Number 2, Mr. Lucas, take or leave it. The win total needed to win the NFC East division is less than 10 wins.
That's your division, right? So
that's my division. So the win requirement is going to be less than 10. You need less than 10 wins to win that division this year.
Nope. I think 10 might do it for you, but I don't think 9 can do it, so I'm leaving it.
I was interested because I'll probably leave it too, but I saw Max Kellerman this morning on First Take, and he was saying, yeah, you're probably only going to need like 6 wins to win that division because the division is so bad. And while I think that's funny and probably a good point, I think it's probably more around 10 that you're going to need to win it. The Eagles have to get better at some point, I would imagine. I hope they don't. Anyway, number 3. Take it or leave it, Mr. Lucas. The 49ers will not win a Super Bowl with Jimmy G as a starter.
Taking it. It's obvious. Next question, Jackson.
That was just easy for you. They just can't. They just can't. They won't.
Not with Jimmy G.
I think a quarterback upgrade
doesn't
is
have
all
it.
there is. I'm sorry?
I said he just doesn't have it. And you said you think a quarterback upgrade's the only thing they're missing?
I think
Other
so.
than the 15 players that are injured?
Other than the 15 players that are injured, yeah. Just they just dude. I'm telling you what, you put Deshaun Watson on the 49ers, best team in football.
Hey, it's gonna happen.
That's all I'm saying. Okay, so final take or leave it, Mr. Lucas. And I think you might be a little biased in this too. Ryan Tannehill is the most underrated quarterback in the league. Take or leave it.
He played really good last week. He played good the week before, but he played really good last week. I'm
starting to think Aaron Rodgers was in that conversation heading into the year. People were really underrating him.
You're a big homer for Aaron Rodgers, so I can't agree with the Aaron Rodgers take. Everyone knows he's the man.
Yeah. Drew Lock was underrated. Do you think that?
Like if Aaron Rodgers is playing at a 99, like everyone coming into the year was thinking, oh, he's like a 94. You know.
I'll throw some different quarterbacks out there for you that might be underrated.
I'm trying to think of some underrated ones.
Derek Carr.
I definitely underrated Kyler Murray coming in, I think.
Yeah, Kyler Murray.
I need to see how Derek Carr plays against the Saints tonight. Josh Allen has looked really good, but they played the Jets and
Jared Goff.
No, because I feel like that's all coaching.
Okay. Trying to think of some of the ones out there. I don't think Daniel Jones is underrated at all. Carson Wentz is overrated.
Carson Wentz is definitely overrated, Zach. Yeah, I guess I gotta go Tannehill just because literally, like, everyone's like, oh, last year's a fluke. Like, no one's expecting anything from the guy, and he put up a 145 passer rating yesterday.
It's insane.
I mean, Phillip Rivers is like a Super Bowl away from being in the Hall of Fame, and he still might get into the Hall of Fame. I'm sure there's a chance. But like against that defense, against that rookie cornerback and all that stuff, like my man threw like 2 interceptions and lost the game, and like Ryan Tannehill went out there and he was like, "Yeah, I'm like 16 for 19 or 16 or 20, 250 yards, 4 touchdowns, no big deal."
Just whatever.
I did it with like not a number one wide receiver. My number one's out. We lost our right tackle last year. Just no problem.
No problem. I'm gonna take it, Lucas. I do. I think Ryan Tannehill is the most underrated quarterback in the league. I think that despite the successes for Tennessee, um, no spotlight continues to be upon them, which is baffling to me. Because I definitely consider you guys a top contender in the AFC overall. For me, I have you definitely top 5 in the conversation. Yes, Mr. Lucas?
We had a Monday Night Football game. There was 2 games on Monday Night Football last week.
Yeah.
Okay? I watched First Take Tuesday. They talked about the Steelers game. Literally did not talk about the Broncos-Titans game at all.
Didn't talk about it.
How? Instead, they did the same segment over some NBA stuff twice. What?
It is baffling to me because I have the Ravens, I have the Chiefs, I have the Steelers, and probably the Bills. I like the Bills right now as well. But I in the Titans, I have the Titans in my top 4 for the AFC at the moment.
Baffling, Jackson. People just refuse to talk about us, and people aren't going to talk about this. It's like, oh, Ryan Tannehill had the highest passer rating last year. No big deal.
Just whatever.
Goes out, hits like a 145 this past week.
Completely.
Well, they were just playing Jacksonville. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, whatever. No big deal. But guys, that is it for the show today. Thank y'all for dropping by and giving us a listen. Really do appreciate it. Remember, you can find us where all podcasts can be heard: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Also, put this same video up on YouTube. Leave a comment. Casey's getting lonely down there. He looks like he might need a little bit of help. Starting to kind of go a little crazy in the head with the whole Aaron Rodgers takes that he's got going on lately.
Definitely is.
But we hope you guys have a wonderful week. Enjoy football. We're in for some really good games this week, so can't wait to talk about those coming up. Breeze versus Rodgers, Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson. What else do you want on Sunday and Monday night? We love you all, and have a good day, and bye-bye.
Deuces.